Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Heat Seeker Outdoors. On today we're going to get something started that I hope we're going to do a little bit more of here in the future. We're going to give you some of our favorite recipes and show you how we prepare them for our wild game. So hope you enjoy this week.
Hey everybody, Josh Meadows with Heat Seeker Outdoors. We got kind of a fun episode for you guys today. We're going to do some cooking, myself and Speedy Green. Today we're going to work on fish, and I know fish can kind of get a little bit boring and a little bit bland, and I got to give credit to my 15-year-old son. He thought of this probably about 3 months ago, and we're going to do buffalo fish. So just bear with us here, and we're going to get ready and get cooking going on this fish. This is Zatarain's. You can buy it at Sam's Club, Walmart, wherever. I'm not trying to promote nothing, but it's a really good breading. It's just a little bit on the bland side when we eat fish as much as we do. And that's what kind of spawned on the whole buffalo, is we've been eating a lot of fish. So my son was like, hey, why don't we have some hot wings? And I'm like, I don't know, bud. And he said, well, why don't we do fish like hot wings? I was like, we'll give it a try. And we gave it a try, and it was really, really good. So I'm just doctoring this up a little bit. Get rid of some of the blandness, the same flavor we're always getting. Use a whisk, kind of whisk this stuff together. Try to get it as even as possible. That way you don't have a whole bunch of odd flavors when you're eating it. Well, we got our breading all mixed up the way we want, seasoned up. So we got a couple of things that we've already pre-prepped so we can have that stuff going while we're cooking our fish. So we've got some corn, and I soaked it in salt water for about an hour, and that's just to get that husk nice and moisturized so when you put it on the grill it don't catch on fire. And we got some cornbread that I've got mixed up, and we're getting ready to throw it in the oven. And I've also preheated my oil up to 350, and we're gonna get that stuff going and start frying this fish. All right, we're ready to get our fish all breaded up, start getting it in the fryer. Just real quick, talk to you about kind of what fish we're using today. This one here is grunt. It's a saltwater fish. My parents live in Florida in the wintertime, and he spends all winter fishing, so he brings me back bags and bags of fish, and this is probably one of my favorite ones he brings back. This other one is a mixture of kind of bluegill and bass, and I believe this is from Brian and I's last fishing trip, and we're gonna get going on that and start getting it in the fryer. You wanted, and then how I lay it is I have these trays, and I lay it where the bottom is full of fish, and then drop it down and let it do its thing. I like to shake it a little bit so it don't stick to the bottom when you go to take them out. We'll let that sit in there for about 3 minutes, and then we'll take it out and give it a check. Yeah, it was kind of one of the enjoyable things about cooking is we get to enjoy our harvest. So not only do we get to spend time out in the field, in the woods, in the boat, you know, we get to come home and we get to enjoy what was harvested that day. You know, just like this fish that Brian and I caught. We spent a lot of good time out on the pond, and it was our really first time getting in a boat, fishing it, and it was just a lot of fun. So take your harvest and try new things with it and enjoy it. Even with like deer hunters and goose hunters, and I think Speedy's gonna do a goose recipe. Take what you harvest and make something of it. There's 100 recipes out there you can try to make things really good. Whether, you know, a simple using Zatarans or taking some extra seasoning and kind of spicing it up, or going as far as making a buffalo fish. So just continue to try stuff. That's my timer. And enjoy what you do. Okay, we got all of our fish fried up here. We're gonna get them buffaloed up and then get them in the oven for a little bit. So this is TGI Fridays buffalo sauce. Really, any buffalo sauce will work. This just happened to be what I found first yesterday. Some of that in a bowl. I would recommend wearing gloves when you do this, but I'm not going to today because it's probably gonna start burning. So just kind of get a nice coat on your fish there. If you think about it, it's just like doing hot wings. You know, you fry your hot wings up and then toss them in the buffalo sauce and then bake them for a little bit, kind of bake that sauce in there. Same concept, but with fish. We're gonna try that one for quality control. That's good. So I still have my oven set at 350 for my cornbread. I'm just gonna poke that in there. It'll probably take about 5-6 minutes. Just kind of bake that sauce in there and then we'll take them out. So we just pulled our cornbread out of the oven, and I've tried a lot of different ways to do it, and I found this kind of works the best for a little bit of a sweet cornbread. Just clover honey, and just kind of putting a light coat on top of it. I'll poke it back in the oven for about 5 more minutes and just kind of let that soak in and crust in, and it's awesome when it's done.
Fighting for us. I'm about to go get the corn. Walk this way. God. Did you edit that one out? It's hot. The pan was hot. Hot pan, come through. Hot pan.
Okay, we got our corn done, we got our cornbread done, we got all of our fish fried, and we're gonna check on our buffalo fish here. Looks really good. Pop it up here. All the sauce is baked into the breading now, so it's just like eating a hot wing. So, oven's off, we're ready to eat.
Hey everybody, Mayor Green with Heat Seeker Outdoors. Today, here at the firehouse, we're making goose fajitas. I love goose, it's a great meat. A lot of people don't like it. Good way to get people to eat it who are kind of fishy about the flavor is use something strong with seasoning. That's why I like using fajitas. So follow along, we'll go through, slice this up, slice up the goose, and the vegetables go with it. We're gonna throw it in our cast iron here and have a good dinner tonight. All right, we're gonna start out. We're gonna get our vegetables going, get them sliced up and put into the cast iron so they can start to simmer down. And then once these are going, we'll drain the blood off, rinse our goose breast, and add them in with our packets of fajita seasoning. So good thing with cast is to make sure it's hot. You got a little bit of grease in there. I'm a big fan of using bacon grease. You can use butter, you can use margarine. Something to give it a little bit of a base in there so things don't stick. It needs to be warm before you start throwing ingredients in. We get our onions here chopped up, get them into the skillet. You can cut them up however you want. Preference, I like bigger chunks of onion. Some people like smaller. You can dice it if you want to. It's all personal preference. There's no right or wrong way here. You can see and hear that the onions are sizzling. They're going to start to caramelize here shortly. We'll turn it down a little bit so we can get the peppers added in so they finish up around the same time. So the goose that we're going to be eating today is from an earlier hunt from last season. And we're going to get it seasoned up for you guys. Like I said earlier, a lot of people are afraid to eat goose. They say it's greasy, it's nasty. I find it actually a pretty sweet meat. It's good to use. Like I said, things with a lot of spices, definitely for people who are new to it. And then for the people who like it, I really enjoy making goose and noodles. A pressure cooker is definitely your friend when doing it. It makes it a little easier, softens that meat up a little faster for those bigger chunks. But that's one of my favorites. It's a little warm out today to be eating heavy noodles, so we're gonna go with fajitas. So now that we got our vegetables chopped up, we're gonna let them start to caramelize, break down, soften up. While that's starting, we're gonna slice up the goose breast there and get it ready for the skillet. So one nice thing about cutting these up into fajita strips is helps you find that shot. People who aren't used to eating wild bird, wild game that's shot, they get real turned off when they catch a piece of shot in their meal. So take your time, look over the piece of meat, look for any shot entrances, so as you're going along cutting, you can pick those things out if you find them. That'll be us. Alright guys, you saw we got interrupted there with the call. Before I left, I made sure I took the goose, put it in a bowl, and stuck it in the fridge. Always take care of your meat. Don't leave it out on the counter. It's how you're gonna get people sick. When you get someone sick once on your food, they're not wanting to eat your food again. So we're gonna finish slicing this up here, and then we're gonna add it to our peppers and onions. All right, now that we have our goose cut up, we're gonna add it in with our peppers and onions. Once it's added in there, mix it in, and then add whatever seasoning that you prefer. Some of it, not all of it. Even though we bought a pre-made season, like to add a little bit of our own just to give it a little more bold flavor. So a little more cumin, a little bit of chili powder, some garlic. Just a nice little mix. Just sprinkle it in, mix it on. Should be good. Alright guys, our fajitas are done. Break out the tortillas, add a little sour cream, guac, and cheese. Our meat and onions, peppers, and it's a meal. Got some rice and beans to go with it. So we'll be eating good tonight. So nice thing about having this meal is just the enjoyment of the hunt to get it to the table. Goose hunting and waterfowl alone, I have a real big, passion for. Mainly just for the camaraderie along with the guys you can hunt, unlike deer hunting and turkey. You can talk, hang out, and just enjoy the company and be outside and enjoy the day. So here it is, our goose fajitas. I'm gonna do my hands.
This week, we've really enjoyed, filming it, cooking it together and all that. It's something we really like to do is eat together as a crew. It just helps out with camaraderie, and we do it at least one meal a day for sure here at our station. We start off every meal typically when we're all sitting together with prayer, and we pray for everybody that we're trying to protect. We also pray for all of our brothers and sisters and our families at home, and it's just something that we kind of always try and do every shift. So like most meals around the firehouse here, the tones don't wait for us to get done eating, and when that bell rings, it's time for us to run out the door. So I can't tell you how many times I've come back to a cold meal, and this time was no different. So pretty accurate, in Speedy's video there, we caught a run, and then in Josh's video, there when we sat down to eat, we caught a run. So we just kind of want to give you guys a little kind of a glimpse into what we do here together as a crew on cooking meals. So I hope you enjoy, and we look forward to bringing more like this to you. Thanks for watching.